Welcome back to Detroit Lions Fonza. What a game it was. Went all the way into overtime, 26-23 in favor of the Detroit Lions. We were held out in the first half, 20-0. We really got to work on our offensive line. This includes for blocking, because Stafford was hit up. He got some good hits in that game, and not to mention we still can't run the ball. We really need to be able to run the ball if we're going to really get down there serious against certain teams, because we don't want to become one-dimensional. I mean, it is great what we're doing on the pass game, but we really got to get some kind of run game going. Though we do have our little screens to set up a lot of stuff to make up for that, but still it'd be great to be able to run a little bit, even if it is occasional. It doesn't have to be serious, because we do have a lot of guys. And what can I say about Stafford to Johnson? That is just one of the most beautiful combinations in the league right now. We'll get a little more into that. Let's go to the picks really quick. You have Carolina and Chicago. Now this might be a tougher one to pick. I'm not really sure what I want to say, because Chicago, their offense at times to me is just... They've got a lot to work on there. And Carolina had not as high-powered as usual, but there was a lot of rain in that game, and they got the W, so that's what matters at the end of the game. So I'm gonna have to go with Chicago just because they've been there, done that. But I'm not gonna be surprised if Carolina wins this game, but I'm gonna go with Chicago to bounce back here. They're two tough losses, and then you have Buffalo and Cincinnati. Cincinnati's got a decent defense, but I don't think it will be enough. I'm picking the Buffalo Bills to go 4-0, and congrats to Bill fans. Buffalo's looking pretty good this year. Going out there and beating New England, I really did not expect that. Then you have Tennessee and Cleveland. Cleveland coming off a win. Tennessee coming off a win against Denver. I'm going to have to go with Tennessee. I love what I'm seeing in Matt Hasselbeck, but this should be a close game, but I'm going to go with Tennessee. I love what I'm seeing out of him. And then you got Pittsburgh and Houston. Houston have a tough loss to the Saints, but that's a hard place to play in. Steelers just barely edging the Colts. But hey, well, you got to give the Colts credit. Their defense really did come to play. And Curtis Painter, I'm really glad he's getting his shot here, because I really think you got to give the guy a chance. So in relation to the game, I'm going to have to go with... Pittsburgh, but this is going to... I won't be surprised if Houston wins, and you've got a lot of close games this week, but I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. But Houston is going to... This should be a good game. And then you got the Saints and Jacksonville. Of course, I'm going to go with the Saints here. Drew Brees is looking... He's one of the best teams in the NFC right now, and Drew Brees is just... He's being Drew Brees, right? You can't argue with that. And then you got Minnesota and Kansas City. If the Vikings can put together full 4 quarters, they should win this game. But the Chiefs did come out and they hung in there against the Chargers. But I can't pick against Minnesota here. They're much better than their record is. They just got to figure a way out to close up some games, and they could actually be 3-0 right now. But here we go next. 49ers, Philadelphia. I'm picking Philadelphia to bounce back here. Well, the 49ers defense should do relatively good. They're pretty good at what they're doing with the turnovers. They're pretty good with the run defense, so it might make them one-dimensional, especially if Vic isn't there to help out with that area. Yeah, I'm going to pick Philadelphia to win, but it should be a decent game. I'm going to say 10-point game here. And then you got Washington and the Rams. Can't pick Washington. I can't pick the Rams right now. I don't know what's going on with they're being a little inconsistent. They could have won against the Giants. They should have just taken care of business in the red zone, but right now, I'm not going to pick against them right now. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to go with Washington to bounce back here. And then you have the Giants in Arizona. Now, I like what I saw out of that receiver Cruz. I didn't expect that. That was a beautiful catch and go. He went all the way to the end zone on that play. And Arizona coming off another loss, but can you say it was a division game, so you can't really look too much into that, because usually, even if somebody in the division is a little more down there, division games are usually always close. But yeah, I'm going to have to go with New York in that one. And then you got Atlanta and the Seahawks. I pick Atlanta to come back and bounce back here. Seattle did get their first win, but I don't think they'll be getting another one here in this battle of the birds, as you would put it. And then you got Denver and Green Bay. Cannot pick against the Packers. Wow, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is just amazing. What can you say, right? The Packers played a little more on par. They did have a couple missed tackles though for one of those touchdowns, but yeah, Green Bay is one of those teams. You just don't. You got to be prepared. You got to have You got to come with some defense and some offense. They're going to be a hard team to beat. So I'm picking them to go 4-0 here. Then you got New England and Oakland. You know, Oakland's really surprising me right now. If they can play some stellar defense, they might have a chance here, kind of like how the Bills did. It depends on their offense too, because they went all the way down to the wire with the Bills, and the Bills were able to beat New England, but I'm not sure if I can pick that to happen again. But McFadden, he's looking pretty nice. Whew. A tough game to pick here. I'm going to have to go with New England, though. I think they'll get it done here, but this is going to be close. I'm picking this one to go right down to the end of the fourth quarter. And then you got Miami and San Diego. Miami just hasn't seemed to be able to get it done lately, but I think they're going to get it done this week. Improve their record. To get their first win on the season. It's going to be a tough one, but it'll be close. But I think Miami will finally pull it out. They almost had it against Cleveland there at the end, but just couldn't do. They weren't able to stop them there to get that first down and get in field goal range. So the interception happened and dropped them to 0-3. But I think they'll get their first win here in a close one. And then you got the Jets in Baltimore. Love what I'm seeing on both of these defenses. Jets coming off of a tough loss to the Raiders, but McFadden, he just ran wild on them. They're going to have to fix that up if they want to win this game, because Ray Rice might do the same thing if they go out and work the perimeter kind of like the Raiders did. And the Ravens coming off of a big win, and I did not expect that out of their pass game, just the way Flacco's just throwing around. But we'll see how this goes. This is the Jets defense we're talking about, so I don't expect the same thing. And I do expect the Jets to win this game. But it's gonna be like last year's game, a lot of defense, a lot of good hits. But in the end, I think the Jets will pull this one off and get back on track. But I am impressed with the Ravens, so don't get me wrong there. And then you got Indianapolis and Tampa. The Bucks coming. They finally beat the Falcons. Congrats, Bucks. Love what I saw in that game. A lot of good defense, though. A lot of miscommunication on some stuff, but nothing that both teams can't fix up in the long run. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Tampa here. We'll see how Curtis Painter does, because I'm pretty sure he's starting. Now onto the Detroit and Dallas game. Out of all the games on the schedule, besides the one us playing in against the Bucks on week 1, this is probably our next toughest game. It's gonna be a big test for us. We got to go there and play in their dome, and don't be blindsided by the fact that they didn't score a touchdown against the Redskins, because there was a lot of mistakes they had in that game. A lot of bad snaps receiver and Tony Romo not being on the same page, but I give a lot of credit to Tony Romo. He's a tough guy, just like our boy Stafford here in Detroit. So I'm looking for a very good game. I'm really looking forward to this game, and I just can't wait for this one. I'm really been looking forward to this one. Besides the Packers and Bears is one of them I marked on my schedule. And it's going to come down to how the Detroit D can play against the Dallas offense, because they got a lot of good guys in our corners against like their receivers, and Dez Bryant, such a big man. They can make some freak plays, just kind of like Calvin Johnson. So we mirror each other in some certain aspects. Neither one of us have been running the ball too well as of late. I think that they've got us edged out a little bit on rushing, but it's really going to come down to how both defenses can especially get into the quarterback on both sides. And we both have star players. You got DeMarcus Ware and Ndamukong Suh. I don't think Nick Fairley will be playing just yet, so we might have to wait out on that one. But I love what I'm seeing with the Lions. So the way we were able to come back against Minnesota. Usually back in the day, we just either come back and make it close, or we just wouldn't come back at all and just lose. But we really have made some upgrades. I love what Jim Schwartz and the coaching staff is doing. We're making a lot of strides to prove that our worth in this league as one of the better teams. And we're not elite yet, but we're making some statements now. And Stafford's one of the top quarterbacks in the league right now as far as passer rating. He's only behind Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, so that speaks a lot of volumes when he's in the lineup. And Calvin Johnson, what can I say? I love what I'm seeing out of him. He's always been that good in Pettigrew. And when he's consistent, he's pretty good too. And then we got Javid Best, so we got a lot of weapons. The Cowboys have a lot of weapons. Miles Austin, Dez Bryant, like I already said, Felix Jones. We're going to have to watch out for a lot of stuff. We got to get some pressure if we want to win this game, because I don't think Dallas is just going to come away with field goals this time. So we're going to have to take care of business and do our thing on Sunday. And I am looking for a good game. Leave your comments, anything about any of the games, and congrats to the Bills again. And I love what I'm seeing so far, and let's keep it going. Let's go Detroit. Go Lions.